The story begins at night with two siblings playing video games. The brother is terrified of a monster in his room, and though his sister checks and finds nothing, the door slams shut and a monster attacks him. Thankfully, this is just a horror movie being watched by children in a theater. Among them are Marshall and his anxious friend Gilbert, who gets so scared he leaves the theater to use his inhaler. Marshall reminds him that Halloween is next Sunday. If he is this easily frightened, how will he enjoy it? Later, they visit a girl at an antique shop who tries to scare them in a werewolf costume. Before heading home, to help Gilbert face his fears, Marshall dares him to ring the doorbell of their creepy neighbor, Mr. Kubat, whom local kids suspect is a killer. Gilbert musters the courage to ring it, but Kubat suddenly appears behind him, sending Gilbert running back to Marshall in terror. That night, Marshall gets upset when his mother invites her new boyfriend over for dinner, and he leaves the table angry. Soon after, Gilbert panics and contacts Marshall via walkie-talkie, telling him to look out the window. They see two men carrying a large box into Kubat's house. While Gilbert thinks it's a dead body, Marshall guesses it might be a statue. The next day, they share the story with their classmate Amy, an aspiring reporter looking for a big scoop. During a school trip to the local museum, the trio notices an empty sarcophagus next to a mummy. The teacher explains that the second mummy, belonging to the star-crossed lover of the remaining one, was recently stolen.
Marshall immediately suspects Kubat. That night, the three kids sneak into Kubat's basement while he's away. Gilbert uncovers a large box and finds the stolen mummy. When light from a nearby lamp hits the mummy's locket, it miraculously comes to life. Terrified, the kids try to escape, but the mummy proves to be friendly, gently returning a dropped flashlight to Gilbert. Realizing he isn't a threat, they smuggle him to Marshall's house to hide him from Kubat. Marshall feeds the mummy pizza and hot sauce. Seeing how much he loves the spicy food, Marshall names him Harold, after an old friend.
The next day, Harold sneaks out while Marshall is at school. Spotting a bus with an Egyptian princess advertisement, Harold recognizes his long-lost love. He reaches for the picture, but his bandages get caught, dragging him all the way back to the museum. The kids track him down and secretly sneak him out to the antique shop. The shop owner takes a picture of Harold's locket and translates the inscription. Moonlight brings the mummy to life, but he must return to his coffin within 3 days or he will turn to dust. Harold has already been alive for 2 days. They only have 24 hours left. Meanwhile, Kubat finds Gilbert's misplaced inhaler in his basement and realizes the kids took the mummy. Kubat and his gang corner the children, but Marshall triggers a distraction by yelling, "The mummy is behind you!" Harold attacks the goons, allowing the kids to escape. Learning the coffin is hidden at an ice cream factory, they track down the antique shop owner at a local festival for help. However, Kubat ambushes them and snatches Harold's locket, instantly turning Harold back into an inanimate corpse. Kubat takes the body to the factory to sell it to a buyer.
The kids launch a rescue plan at the factory. Gilbert bravely swings from a rope to snatch the locket back, throwing it to Marshall, who places it around Harold's neck. Revived once more, Harold effortlessly defeats Kubat's gang. The kids tie up the criminals and rush Harold back to the museum. Just in time, Harold's lover comes to life. The two embrace and they lie down in their coffins to sleep forever. In the end, the news reports the mummies returned on their own. Kubat is arrested, and Marshall finally accepts his mom's boyfriend, ready to be a happy family.